air yet.
Okay.
Hi, what's up? This is your humble host, Jamal Baraka from Planetejobn, also representing GT Media Reviews. I'm here with my cast of characters for tonight. Let's go. What we got?
I'm Terrence, aka Toku Terry. I'm Toku Nerd.
What's up?
My name is Jermaine Lamont, also better known as Casio from Casio Logic, here in New York.
What's up, everybody? It's everybody's favorite second-rated commenter in the EJOBN forums. It's Manny.
What's up? So this is going to be our first show, and this is going to be a work in progress. It's not going to be perfect, but we're going to try to figure this out as we go. We got a couple of topics selected, and I'm going to try to find my post from the group that I did last week where we were going to pull a topic from the group, and we can go from there. How you guys doing tonight?
Naked.
Great, man.
Not naked. Never mind.
Oh, you're scaring me, man.
Yeah, I didn't say naked. Whatever, man.
It's cold out here in New York, though, man. I'm all right, but it's freezing out here, man.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I went outside, man. It was
Horrendous.
so cold that
man, y'all don't even know. It's supposed to be in the negatives all this week here in Cleveland.
Black.
Screw me.
Terrible.
So here we go. This week, well, matter of fact, within the last 24 hours, we got word that Black Panther and Into the Spider-Verse were nominated for multiple Academy Awards. I'm guessing like over several.
Boom.
So this is a big moment for us. I don't think that we've ever seen a superhero movie get nominated for a Best Picture nomination, but here we are. How do you guys feel about that?
No, I'm gonna come out here and say it. I love Black Panther, and I actually feel that besides the final fight scene, which looked like some PS2 era CGI, the movie deserves every bit of good that comes its way.
All I'm saying is hashtag Black Excellence. All right. I don't care who wins what. The fact is, we in here now. Like, this is a big deal. Like, how often do you hear about a superhero film making it to this high of an accolade, and then it's Black Panther? Like, that's a big deal. So, like, regardless if they win or not, that's amazing. So I'm just like, hashtag Black Excellence. We out here. We winning.
Yeah. The thing is, it's kind of like, I mean, I guess I do have a little mixed feelings about this. Like, I'm very, very happy that Black Panther was nominated, for Best Picture. I'm not sure that just overall it was, a picture that I would actually say really kind of like deserves to be there necessarily. But I mean, at the same time, like, who am I to judge? But I really think that like Black Panther kind of made a big splash, more so as a cultural phenomenon, more, better than I guess whatever the cookie cutter criteria is to win Best Picture, for the Oscars. Personally, I really think that like movies in general all kind of focus on certain aspects of filmmaking. Like if you saw what was it, Blade Runner 2049? I love that film. Love that film. It didn't have a very large script, but it was amazing with cinematography, which is the reason why it won cinematography in the Oscars last year, because it deserved it. It was fantastic. So like Black Panther isn't, a film just like any other film that is gonna really kind of, I guess, cater to the criteria that people will probably say deserves an Oscar, or this is what makes an Oscar-worthy Best Picture. But it was an impact, the cultural phenomenon that I think has been made by Black Panther that wasn't really made by any other film, within the past, I don't know, 10, 20 years.
I feel like it kind of like made Africa relevant in a positive way, because every single time you see Africa, referred to in movies and stuff, is almost always like it's a a hellhole, or a place that's always in the middle, in between wars. Always something like really, really, really bad.
There's an echo here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who it is, but we need to fix that.
Fix what?
Terrence. I think it's you, Terrence.
See?
Terrence.
Which Terrence? Me?
Oh,
you're the only Terrence.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I don't hear it.
You got the echo?
So I just wanted to try to get in front of that before we get too deep into the show.
Did you try muting me? Is it me?
Yeah, who's yes, it's definitely you, bro.
Shit.
T2AAA, yeah, that's you with
Give me a moment.
Figure it
no
out.
problem. No problem.
Okay, so you believe that Black Panther is like really? Do you think it's gonna win? That's the real question.
The thing is, I mean, we have Black Panther is going up against like a lot of really good films. A Star is Born, which is a fantastic movie. If no one's ever seen that. Black Klansman, also a fantastic movie. I mean, with the likes of Spike Lee, you know what I'm saying? Jordan Peele involved in the project. Bohemian Rhapsody is up too. There's a lot of really, really good films that is up for nomination. And I have to be completely honest, I do not think that Black Panther is going to win over Black Klansman for Best Picture. I don't personally.
I don't see it happening either.
Yeah, Black Klansman is just really good.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of how I see it. But I mean, like I said, like Black Panther it really made that splash. And even if it does not win, it gives us a nod. You know, it's kind of like, hey, you know, we see you guys. All right, you guys did a great thing. Boom, you're nominated for Best Picture. Just the nomination, you know, in my opinion, is a win. Just a nomination.
Yeah, I can see that. What do you guys think about Spider-Verse? Spider-Verse is going to be a movie that can possibly take down Incredibles 2?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Oh,
Absolutely. 110% yes.
I don't know, man.
You know what? I'm going to point this out. The Incredibles 2 had one major advantage. We have been waiting, what, 10, 15
Nostalgia.
years? Well, yeah. Thank you. Basically nostalgia. We've been waiting 10, 15 years to see this.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse has a couple of advantages over
Incredibles.
Over Incredibles 2.
What are those?
What are the advantages?
The first advantage is of course the Marvel name. Let's not kid ourselves here. At this point in time, thanks in part to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and thanks in part to the many Marvel cartoons over the years, Marvel is a powerhouse now. Its name carries weight, and that weight gets recognition nowadays.
Right. So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is also a Marvel movie. It actually has, from what, if I'm gathering correctly, it actually has Stan Lee's last cameo.
That was the second advantage I was about to get to, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you were saying Spider-Man over Incredibles.
If you make the points, I don't have to make them.
Brother, I put you saying. You're saying that Spider-Man is going to win over Incredibles.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Incredibles is going to win over Spider-Man. I'm sorry.
What else is nominated under that category?
You have Ralph Breaks the Internet. You have Isle of Dogs. Okay. You have Mirai, which is a Japanese animation. I haven't seen any of the films besides Incredibles and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I saw Isle of Dogs. It was actually it was good.
Now I loved Incredibles too. I'm not sure if it's gonna beat Spider-Verse because I think that
no way.
Spider-Verse it's like the most pure superhero movie you can get.
It really is.
As far as like it's got thought bubbles, it's got it looks like a comic book down to like the picture, even the
way they move looks like a comic book.
And
you know what I'm saying? Even the way they move looks like a comic.
Yeah, even the way they move. It's one of those things where it's like if you watch it and you're a fan of the medium, can't see anything beating that because it's almost like the comic. Even like there was one scene where Miles is running away from Prowler and it looks like it's straight off a comic book.
Yeah.
Like
it's great. It really puts you like right there in the hot seat. You know, it really kind of like makes you feel you're part of the action. And throughout the film, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I did sit and I did watch Incredibles 2. And there's an emotional narrative that like really pushes Spider-Man, Spider-Verse like to continue going. There is like this really, really deep emotional narrative that I didn't really feel in Incredibles 2. You know, and like I feel like it's very important whenever you're creating film, just in general. Like we have to really, really feel something for our main character. And I kind of just I didn't have any connection to anybody in Incredibles 2, you know, as deeply as I felt a connection to, you know, Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My the last two advantages Into the Spider-Verse has is the comic book history behind it, because each one of the characters from Into the Spider-Verse has a comic book origin. Okay, well, they modified Penny Parker, but still comic book origin there. So I'm going to give that one a kind of. But the comic book history, like the comic book fans are overjoyed because this is the first time we're seeing some of these characters on the silver screen. We never thought we'd see Spider-Gwen.
That's right.
Spider-Gwen or Spider-Man Noir on the big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, and spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it, who didn't stick around for the after credits. I'm gonna give y'all a minute.
Do we have to go to the spoiler? That's all right.
Yeah. Ain't nobody go to watch right now.
All right.
This is one of my favorite characters. I need to discuss him real quick.
Okay.
Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099.
Yes.
That was
kind of cute. They had the 2099 Spider-Man interacting with the 63 Spider-Man. That was funny.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was great. I'm not gonna lie about that. That was really, really funny.
Also,
I didn't really like his comic. I didn't like his book.
That's okay. You don't have to like him. I did.
Yeah.
I have enough luck. I have enough luck for all of us. But
okay.
Also, I think another thing the Spider-Verse has is, it also has a nostalgia bent through Peter B. Parker, who is implied to be, if not the version of Spider-Man from the Sam Raimi films, a version of him. Because when they go through his flashbacks, we see events from the Sam Raimi verse slightly modified.
It is him. It is. They were gonna get Tobey Maguire to do the role, but they thought it would be too weird. But it's him. That's the ideal Peter Parker. That's what they call him, the ideal version of Peter Parker. And if matter of fact, if you see, there's a scene with Dr. Octopus,
where
they call back to Spider-Man 2. Like holding Aunt May and he was about to drop her. It was like the exact same scene.
Yeah. A lot of the scenes in his flashback are scenes from the Sam Raimi movies. Like only a couple of them are slightly modified. Like instead of ducking with MJ, he punches the car away. I think that's the only one that's like majorly modified. But other than that, it's just like panel for panel and shot for shot remakes of the Sam Raimi films.
Yeah, I wish they could have got Tobey Maguire to do it. Just
I would have freaked out.
That would have been so dope. And the other thing was that the other Spider-Man, other Peter Parker, was confirmed to be 616.
Yeah, which is weird because it's not the 616 from the comics, but it's a 616, which weirds me out.
Yeah, like a couple years from now. That's what it's basically supposed to be.
Yeah, which, you know what? I'm just going to accept that the movies and the Into the Spider-Verse movie is a different multiverse from the main multiverse, and just roll with it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the introduction of Spider Porky, or what is it? Spider
Ham.
Spider Pig.
Spider Pig.
I don't recall the actual name, but yeah, the pig.
Well,
spider.
He does whatever a Spider Pig does.
Is Peter Porker the Amazing Spider Ham?
Peter's Porker.
Yep,
got it.
That I puns, and that pun was bad even for me.
Yeah, the way the movie was set up, they could actually pull any Spider-Man or any incarnation of them from anywhere. So I wouldn't get too hung on it. If they said it was 616 Spider-Man, or they said it was Spider-Man, if they pulled the Amazing Spider-Man from those movies that we don't talk about, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
it's just kind of cool.
I'm guessing the movies we don't talk about is Spider-Man 3 or either of the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, we don't talk about those.
I may be in the minority here, but I hated both Amazing Spider-Man movies.
You are in the minority, sir, because I will say that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made.
Man, get out of here.
That is how I feel.
Oh my God, here we go.
Yep, let's do this.
We're not doing this because we have Electro was trash.
On the bright side, they did not bring Toei Spider-Man into that movie, because I would be sitting here all day trying to explain this to you.
Who?
Toei Spider-Man.
Wait, TOEI, Japanese Spider-Man?
Yes.
Come on, man. That guy was great. What is your problem?
Great, but you're trying to. But as I was saying before we started the podcast,
we got to go back to Amazing Spider-Man. What was
Let's do it.
That movie?
Well, I mean, the thing is, because it's almost as if no one can really explain to me like why this movie is so terrible. Like the first Amazing Spider-Man was absolutely garbage. I will admit to that. That was ridiculously bad, you know. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than the first Spider-Man with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire. Sorry, it is. Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man film ever created. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the second for this reason, for me, from what I understand. All right. That Spider-Man, in my opinion, was the best rendition of Spider-Man. Not Peter Parker, but Spider-Man. Ever since I sit there and watch those Sam Raimi films, I liked Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, but he was a terrible Spider-Man, in my opinion.
Here we go.
I'm actually
It's all good, man.
this point because I always said it like this.
Everything that you just said was wrong.
Hold
Or
on.
it doesn't allow your opinion. That's fine.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Here's what I've always said. I've always said
Garfield Spider-Man was somewhat better than Tobey Maguire. His Peter Parker was better than me. His Peter Parker was basically 80s Spider-Man that I used to read when I was a kid. 80s, 90s Spider-Man, where he was more angry and more like a real person.
who, Toby's or
Andrew.
Garfield? Okay.
As
I hate him as Spider-Man.
I like this Peter Parker better because it felt like he was a real person. Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man was like
the 60s, 70s.
he was too wholesome.
Right. But see, the thing is,
Really get mad.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, so for that black,
I'm gonna have to defend his. I'm gonna have to defend him on this one because I've always said that Tobey Maguire made a better Peter Parker because he feels more like the lead Ditko Parker brought to life. So yeah, I will agree that Andrew Garfield is a better Spider-Man, being more sarcastic and fun, but Tobey Maguire is the better Parker if you're going for the original.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But if we're talking about the movies as a whole,
Here's
like the films as a whole,
Spider-Man 2, because I actually have a couple of things, and here's what I didn't like about it. For one, they tried to force too many plots into the storyline at once, so the whole story feels very busy, and then they would drop part of the plot until the very end, making it feel pointless.
which film?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
For example, the Richard Parker storyline has no business being in that movie.
Why not?
The main point of that movie was dealing with the consequences of his actions in the form of Electro, dealing with the Green Goblin, which I will get on Harry as the Green Goblin later. We will come back to that. Somebody put a pin in that one. And dealing with his insecurities as Spider-Man. That's already 3 plot lines, and now you're trying to.
Well, okay, so all right, so there's plot lines and then there's subplot lines. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like every film has plots and subplots. Every film. There's no film out there that just has one solid plot, nothing else going on, no other stuff. It's just, there's always layers of stories on like every film, the thing is kind of like, while I understand, like you're saying, like this should have been like this and something about that, I feel like this film actually balanced the emotion of Spider-Man versus the amount of villains that he had to deal with. I didn't see that much of like a congestion, you know what I mean? And sorry,
for all that, they could have just made a live action Spider-Man TV series for all the plots that they were to have.
So what plots were like left unchecked? Like what exactly was, like not handled within the film?
Well, my issue with Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 was Electro, and I thought that the portrayal that they went with was like really ill-conceived.
And I can actually see where you come from with that. I can.
You don't think Jamie Foxx made it good? Never mind.
And for me, that really was like the biggest dagger in the movie. Like I didn't have a problem with Rhino, even though I didn't really care for that. I thought that
I know was completely wasted in that movie, by the way.
I thought the relationship,
he is wasted.
yeah, the relationship stuff was pretty good, but they really lost me with Electro and then trying to shoehorn the Sinister Six in there. It wasn't the fact that they had the different villains there, is that they just threw everything into this movie, and what makes it worse is that you'll never get payoff for it.
Oh yeah, and again, and that's also my problem with the Richard Parker storyline, because they bring up all this stuff about Richard Parker and about his secret dealings that they wanted to tie up in a third movie, but because Amazing Spider-Man 2 underperformed, we're never going to get that again. And I feel like I understand why they brought it up. They wanted to save it for the third movie, but I feel like they brought it up and then dropped it to the very final minutes of the movie, and it just doesn't have a feeling of closure for me, because, well, for one, it didn't close at all, but for two, you haven't done anything with it since the first 30 minutes. Why are you bringing it back up now?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a weak argument, because that part of the story was kind of, there was really nothing else to add to it.
Again,
I mean, the thing is that that story was ongoing. This was Peter Parker's, his journey throughout that film was to see what happened to his uncle, to understand what happened with his uncle and his aunt. I mean, I find that his parents, his father and his mother. I think it's very relevant. I find that very relevant because I don't really know any other like live action Spider-Man film or television series that's ever like touched on that. It was like, yeah, his parents are just not here and he lived with his aunt, and like that's it. You know what I mean? I personally
if I remember correctly, the 90s show brought it up, but they never capitalized on it either. But
and that's I guess it's kind of more so what I mean. It's kind of like it wasn't really delved into, and it was something new. You know what I'm saying? That me as a Spider-Man fan like really enjoyed. Just kind of being open to. It's kind of like, oh, I would love to know what's happening with Richard Parker. I would love to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this is a story that I'm really kind of open to watching. I personally did enjoy that. And the thing is that it's not really so much, I guess the plot or the subplots or the fact that they had too many villains or XYZ. To me watching a film, I really feel like it was put together well. The film was put together well, and there were a lot of little Easter eggs and comic book elements that brought this film to life. You know what I mean?
I understand what you mean. I disagree, but I respect your opinion.
Okay. Because I mean, let me give you an example. Like, and these are the kind of things that I like. I like little things like this. He got caught on the police car, and the police was kind of doing the dan-dan-it. You know what I mean? It had a Spider-Man thing going. I thought it was kind of cool. And even when Electro was in that, I'm not sure what you call it, that I guess wherever it is where all the electricity comes to the city. I can't think of the place what it's called. The power plant. That's called power plant. Yes, at the power plant. And I guess as Spider-Man was being like zapped between all of this electricity, they were actually playing the Itsy Bitsy Spider. As that was happening, and it's kind of like little things like that really intrigued me, and it really kind of pulls me into the movie. And I haven't seen that kind of stuff done. I haven't really seen like those kind of little intricacies and those little like details really paid attention to in any other film. So that's one of the reasons I think
I can't get with you, man.
It's all good. It's all good. But that is my stance. I think
so. Into the Spider-Verse.
One of the best scenes I liked in the movie was when the scenes where Spider-Man was interacting with like the people, like when he was out there with the fire truck, fire hat on, or with the kid at the end.
Yeah.
When he was actually like standing up for New York or whatever. That kind of gets me.
Right. That's something too that I feel like makes it really heartfelt. It hits you right in your, you know what I mean? It hits you. And I just feel like Amazing Spider-Man 2 really gave us a holistic like view of Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and like just as a whole, and it's something that I missed in the first Amazing Spider-Man. I thought it was terrible, as I'm gonna keep saying. Really bad movie. I didn't feel it with even the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like I didn't feel anything from Spider-Man until Spider-Man 2, scenes like when he was on the train, and he stopped the train and the people kind of like, carried him and everything. It's like, we need those moments. Like we need those moments. There were moments with him and Aunt May that we needed,
Yeah.
And it's like we need to have those moments. And that's actually one of the reasons why I did not like Spider-Man Homecoming, because we got zero moments. None of those moments happened. So sorry.
Let's pivot to Homecoming, okay?
Nope.
So
Okay.
you have a third reboot in the last 20 years, and you have Homecoming. How do you guys feel about its integration MCU?
Okay, well, here I actually like Tom Holland's integration to the MCU because one, this is the first time we've actually seen a 15-year-old Spider-Man. Think about that.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all just realized that even in the original Sam Raimi movies, he was around 17 or 18, he was a senior in high school, about to leave.
He was never a kid.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen a 15-year-old Spider-Man, which is how old he was when he first became Spider-Man in the comics.
Are you tapping your hand on a desk or something?
I'm sorry, I do that when I make points.
Okay, like what's happening?
Yeah, he's getting into it. I can see that. Feel that.
This is the first time we've seen a 15-year-old Spider-Man.
Okay.
In addition, the fact that he's in the MCU now means another part of his backstory that we've never seen in live action has a chance of being shown. His parents being SHIELD agents.
See, I'm not interested in that.
Oh, that's a pretty, like, how often do you get a chance to actually know anything about Peter Parker's parents, though? I mean, it's like, you ever like wondered why was he with Aunt May in the first place? You know?
I didn't care.
What?
I mean, that's fair. You don't care. That's fair.
Yeah, not everybody's going to care. But me, I always did wonder that. Like, you know, why? Like, where is his mom and dad? What's up with them?
No, agreed. Same thing with me, which is one of the reasons why I really took to the story in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
The reason why is because nothing that they give you is going to beat the story that you have in your imagination.
That's actually good. I mean,
nothing that they give you. Unless
you say that, how can you? I don't understand. How can you? What do you mean?
Like, unless
hold on. I'm a writer, so I can actually answer that one.
We can't talk over each other, guys.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, I'm saying we can't. Like, nothing there is like, if you're not gonna come out with like a Bucky Winter Soldier situation where he comes back, I don't know what Marvel could give you. They tried to bring back Spider-Man's parents in the 90s, and it was lame. And they tried to do it in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and it didn't really gel. So I'm not sure what you can do to make that work.
Again, to back up his point, as a writer, there's a rule in writing. It's called nothing is scarier, which is usually used in horror, but it works for pretty much anything.
Okay.
With the nothing is scarier rule, it means sometimes in writing, no matter what you write, your audience, it will always disappoint your audience because it's not going to be as good as the picture in their head imagines. It's not going to be as scary or as epic or.
So you're saying just leave a plot hole on purpose to kind of just like give people, you know, some sort of speculation as to what is happening.
Don't leave it as a plot hole, but
not a plot hole, but like just sort of leave it like leave the situation ambiguous.
Yes, exactly.
See, here's the thing with the MCU version. If you made them SHIELD agents, they would basically just be another set of SHIELD agents. So you would have them there, and they may interact with Hawkeye and Black Widow, and that would be kind of cool and cute. I mean, what else would you do with that?
I mean, are they dead or are they still alive?
Oh, they're very dead.
They're dead. All right, cool.
Like unmarked graves, we're talking.
Jeez, wow, that bad?
The thing I think, in reference to what you're saying, nothing is scarier. That's actually, that's actually valid. I think that's the same thing that kind of happened in that film Bird Box. But the thing is that this is Marvel, that I think we're talking about. Like, it, what I mean? I don't really. I guess I have faith in Marvel. Like, they've been writing these stories for decades. You know what I'm saying? And these movies that they're made are like the top grossing movies, you know what I'm saying, of any film when they release. So I mean, we're not like talking about an amateur set of writers. Like, we're talking about, Marvel. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess the question is simply, as far as being a nerd is concerned, what is that? Do you want to know everything about the Marvel universe, or do you want some things to be sort of just up in the air? You know, like is there such thing as telling too much of a story, or is there just such thing as can we just leave some things out and people will still be happy? Because at some point, you know, we get spoiled. We're gonna be like, "Yay, we want something, or we want this or that, the other," and then we get it, and it's like, "Oh no, we didn't want it like that, though."
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where you leave it on the table. Like, I always was under the impression that when Peter was a kid, he lost his parents early for whatever reason, and I thought that it actually, to go back to Cass's point, when he said that the parents were killed in a plane crash, I mean, it just worked. I mean, I was like, okay, well, that explains that. And that was it. But once they tried to tie it into like some type of government conspiracy or something like that, it was like, yeah, you're doing too much.
I mean, and going to the Bird Box thing, not to like, you know, trying to going into the concept of nothing gets scarier. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I saw Bird Box, saw Bird Box because they did see. Like, that's a joke in that. Oh, come on. That was funny.
Okay. You have kids, do you?
Oh, like this. You guys are no funny. I'm funny. But what I'm saying is that when I did watch Bird Box, though, the idea that, first off, yeah, I saw it because I wanted to see what the bastard looked like. That was me. All right. So when I didn't see that, I was mad. I was disappointed because I get the idea that nothing is scarier. I didn't want to see it to be scared. I wanted to see it to know what it looked like, just so I could be like, I wonder what the hype was about. So like, I didn't see. It's like, so for me, the idea of leaving the situation ambiguous, it's cool. Like, I understand why they did it, but I'm still like disappointed because I'm like flipping tables. Like, no, fuck this, man. I wanted to see what this was. Come on, what the hell?
Right. You feel robbed in some way. Like,
I feel betrayed.
Yeah. Like, they built this whole thing up, and at some point you think that like maybe I'm gonna see the monster at this moment. Okay, it's gonna show up now. Okay, maybe now.
Yeah, I feel Bird Boxed. I feel ham-boozled.
Yeah, I didn't really care about the monster. It was one of those things where,
oh god,
what was that movie, Paranormal Activity?
Oh, sorry, that was kind of funny.
They had that movie, Paranormal Activity, where it was like the monster was like always like right on the other side of the camera where you didn't see it.
I ain't watching no. Yeah, I ain't watching them movies. Sorry, nope.
That's offensive.
Negative Batman. Nope.
None of them. Hey,
are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I ain't watching no Paranormal Activity. Forget that. I ain't about to have no TV sliding across my wall and stuff like that.
Negative, it's not. It's just a movie. It's not gonna really.
It's scary. It's just not all that good either.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, my point with that is that like the tension in the movie was like the monster's like right out of sight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With Bird Box, it was almost like nobody would see it because the rules of the plot dictated that you would never see it.
Yeah, or rather, if you did see it, you went crazy.
You went crazy and killed yourself immediately. So it was like there was no chance to really see it.
Yeah, like, but that's my whole thing, though. My logic is that, like, you know, when it comes to writing, or rather, see, me, I'm one of those guys. I want to know everything. That's the kind of nerd I am. I want to know it all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I don't care if it was like poorly made or poorly created or poorly constructed. I wanted to see this son bitch. But like, another thing too is that, like, with me, I'm a kind of guy who I feel like I don't want to watch something and ask questions and find myself asking questions about it unless I know for a fact there's a sequel coming. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm watching something and I'm sitting here like, yeah, but what about that one guy? And, you know, and then I'm waiting like a million years for a sequel so I can get my question. It's gonna bug me, you know? Like, it's good writing, but it still upsets me because it's like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, it was actually bad writing.
Yeah, that was just bad.
Yeah, the movie itself was very, very bad writing. And what you're saying, you know, is still valid though. But my thing with Bird Box, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, character development. You know, character development is like a huge thing for me. For me, it's like, don't introduce me to characters that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't introduce me to characters that don't matter.
Here's my thing.
Well, hang on. I wasn't done. Hang on.
My bad.
It's all good. So we have Machine Gun Kelly in the movie, right? And we have I'm not sure what the actress's name, but she played a policeman. She was Spanish.
I just called her the girl.
Okay. all right, because she was irrelevant, exactly. So for whatever reason, we're introduced to Machine Gun Kelly and this girl. They have this little whatever love affair that happens in the laundry room, and then boom, they're gone. Period. Disappeared. What happened to them? Why were we introduced to them folks in the first place? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's bad writing. Like, why are you introducing characters that literally have no consequence to the plot? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that
they did take away the car. So
I mean,
Yeah, but that's
but they were stuck in the house
you know,
anyway.
it's like there's no solid reason as to why they took the car. They just up and took the car. Oh, where they at? Oh, the car's gone. And that's it. And like, really? Like, there's no kind of development that gives us any kind of, you know what I'm saying? You know, like any kind of build up to them taking the car. Is just, hey, where are these two guys at? Oh, look, the car is gone.
It goes into the question of, why should I care about these people? Right? Is that what you're saying?
It's more so, why did the writers even put them in the story? It's like that. That, in my opinion, is bad writing. Yeah. It's like, do not introduce me to characters who literally has no consequence to the story.
Okay, here's something me and my wife argued about with Bird Box. Would you have rather stayed in the house or stayed in the store?
Shit, store.
Can I choose to not be in the dang movie at all?
What?
It's not an option.
Not an option right now.
Okay, dude, it's a horror movie. There's a black dude in every horror movie. You got to be in it.
Oh snap! Yeah. Let's discuss that, please.
Oh crap! No, wait, no, let's not. Oh,
too late. Too late.
I just did it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Let's discuss that right now, because this is another problem that I have with Bird Box. A huge problem that I got with it. All right. So you have John Malkovich, right? Fantastic actor, by the way. Mm-hmm. He's sitting here with this big old shotgun, you know, and they about to open up this big ass freezer door, right? Okay, so the way I see it is, anybody that has any kind of common sense is going to be like, okay, I'm going to hold this big freaking pump action shotgun. I'm going to hold it at the opening of the door, right?
Oh, God.
I'm going to open it. Let me finish. I'm going to hold it at the opening of the door. Okay, let me get behind the door to where as though I am obstructed from what comes out of the freezer, and just have the shotgun there for no reason, so little Rail can run in there and kill himself to try to save your boy from getting attacked. Garbage. Straight garbage.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Straight garbage. So I mean, it's you know, I just feel like, you know, if you're gonna write, and I mean, I know writing is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, look at me, I'm some expert writer, because I'm not. I make mistakes too. But, you know, if you're going to put something out there, it's open for criticism, you know? And I guess for me, you get taken out of the film, you know what I'm saying? You want to be in the film. You want to experience it. You don't want to think, oh, that was garbage. And you taken out of the film, and now all of a sudden you realize I'm just watching a movie that's not well put together, you know? You know, you really want to really be, you know, in the film. And as I was watching Bird Box, I felt like I was there for a moment, and then I was just taken out of the film, and I'm like, this makes no sense, you know. And I just think that's kind of what, you know, that's what Bird Box kind of did for me. That's one of the reasons why I'm literally just not a fan of the film at all.
To be fair, the other black dude survived up until the end, kind of.
Until he
I mean, he's Devontae Rhodes from Moonlight, so they're gonna give him like the most screen time. You know what I mean? But
that is him.
Oh, shit. You didn't know that's what that was? Yeah, Trevante.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Trevante Rhodes from Moonlight, man.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, yeah. But it's the thing for me too. It's like, you get these actors, man. You get Sandra Bullock, you know what I'm saying? You get Trevante Rhodes, you get John Malkovich. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got some really, really good actors in this film. You know what I mean? And you just kind of throw a script at them. You know what I mean? That's
well, like, what would you have done? Like, this is what I always say. Like, normally when there's like this much critiquing, what would you have done to improve it, other than the shotgun thing?
I got one for you. I would have used the birds like they probably should have done it, where the people could go outside for short periods of time, and the birds let them know when the spirits were around.
Okay.
They didn't do that in the movie. If you go out, if you looked outside you were dead within a minute, which means that no matter where you were surrounded.
Mhm.
I can't see them surviving for 5 years and not being able to at least go outside for more than a minute without the blindfolds.
How would you scavenge that way?
What you mean, scavenge with your blindfolds?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, how were they, finding things to scavenge, picking up stuff, finding the areas to hunt and scavenge for supplies when they had to wear these blindfolds all the time?
All the time. So, I mean, if you were able to go outside and the monsters just appear, the birds let you know it's an early warning system. Yeah, I got to cover my face up. But I mean, you're not going to do that all the time. What if you ran into a pack of dogs? Or anything?
Yeah.
You outside for 5 years like that? Get out of here.
So I guess I think for me, what I would have done to make this film better, like first of all, I definitely wouldn't have introduced Machine Gun Kelly and whoever the other person was. They would have never been in the film, period. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to have, people who are just, hot in the media right now. Oh, Machine Gun Kelly, versus Eminem. So yeah, let's put him in the movie. Like, no, he would have never been in my film, period. That's number one. I guess another thing, would be that I would have given Sandra Bullock more character development, because in the beginning of the film, there was kind of like, just kind of hints that she didn't talk to her mother. There was hints that she didn't like leave the house or whatever, but it was never really explored as to why. Like, I never knew why she didn't talk to her mom or why she didn't leave the house. Some kind of something, to keep me like grounded to Sandra Bullock's character, I think would have really like served the film a lot better. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have that much of a connection to Sandra Bullock in the first place. Like, I knew she was the main character, but I didn't feel, her struggle or whatever her, debacle was in her life in general. And she even mentioned something about her husband, but it was very scarce. It was in passing. It wasn't anything substantial when she was talking to John Malkovich. So it's like my thing would have been give Sandra Bullock a more solid background story,
right,
so that I can really feel connected to her character throughout this odyssey, that she's that she's going through, Also, well, in the event, let's just say I did cast Machine Gun Kelly and I did have the other police woman in there. What I would have done is that I would have at least had something happen towards though they had a conversation or something where we actually see them talking, and it's kind of like, yo, let's get out of here. Let's just get out of here, or something. Give me something, And what I would have done is at the end of the film, I would have had them come back as the seeing people or whatever, the vigilantes or whatever. I would have had them to come back as in that group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, like I would, what I'm saying? Like, I would have done something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, give the characters a holistic, like a story arc. There we go. Give them a whole story arc. You know what I'm saying?
That wouldn't have added more minutes into the movie, though.
So what? I mean,
I guess you got a point there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? That's of no consequence. There's scenes that could have been taken out that saying that can replace. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. You got a point there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes less is more, and if you were to like add something substantial to a film, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things you could take out that you don't necessarily need. Like, we didn't need to see Machine Gun Kelly and the girl in the laundry room. We didn't need that scene. It didn't add anything to the film, the story, the plot, or nothing. We didn't need it. So I would have took that scene out completely, and added something else that actually meant something to the actual plot.
Yeah. Another thing I would have took out of it, I would have taken out Olivia and Sandra Bullock's character being pregnant at the same, having babies at the same time.
Yeah.
Why? How come?
Because it was dumb.
No,
it just totally took me out of the movie. I'm like, okay, so you both are pregnant and having babies at the same time. The probability of that really happening in that.
Well, that happened in the book too. I think they were just trying to stay
dumbed in too.
It was dumbed in.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're talking about fixing it. What I would have done is I would have had Olivia come to the door with an infant that she had just had, and that would have been the reason why she got into the house.
Oh, that's good.
It changes nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Changes nothing except that you don't get the immersion isn't broken by these two women going into labor at the exact same time.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So,
I'm also a script doctor.
you know what's really crazy? Just imagine, like, would you think that we would be having this serious of a discussion about a movie on Netflix 5 years ago?
Yeah, we're nerds.
No, but no, what I'm saying is that like I'm just pointing this out here. Like, you gotta remember, like, it just surprises me how big Netflix has become now.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it's really weird because at first it was just some weird little streaming service, and now is making movies that are big deals now. You know what I mean?
True, but Netflix started off not as a streaming service at all.
Oh, it did?
No, Netflix started off as a DVD delivery service.
This is true.
Because I actually signed on to Netflix back in 2009, and that's what I got. The first DVD package that I got was Teen Titans. I got the entire Teen Titans library like mailed to my house, and I watched every single episode. But it's a very like touchy subject for me because back then I was in the military, and I was like, man, this company is probably going to be really, really cool in the future. I should probably invest in this company. I never did, and I feel.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like it's really crazy that like it's just really crazy because Netflix has now become this media superpower, so to speak.
That's
so
right.
It's like it's just really crazy that like now we're talking about what the hell. It's just really weird, like how now we're talking about movies from Netflix now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's natural, I mean, because if you think about it, in the early 2000s, we were like a lot of people were torrenting and then bootlegging movies and stuff like that. So it was just a matter of time and getting to the point where people don't want to go out and interact with people. Let's keep it real.
True.
You can stream if you can watch movies at home, play video games at home, shop at home. It's just natural progression.
That's very true.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, now because now and then just imagine now we have all these great things that's coming from it. It's just wild. Like, in my opinion, it's just like we're now talking about I never thought that we would be making this big of a deal about, a movie made on Netflix before.
I mean,
it never dawned on me.
Yeah, I felt like, it's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? The bad thing is that Blockbuster Video, you know what I'm saying, like they had the market cornered. And they had an opportunity to grow, but they never changed their business model. They didn't decide to change their business model until it was too late. They could have got in on the streaming way early, way back in the day, but they decided to try to keep their same business model, which was outdated, and Netflix swooped right in and was like, oh, you're not going to evolve? Okay, cool. We're going to take over from here. You know what I'm saying? Peace out. And
who else is having that problem?
Who else?
GameStop.
Ooh,
how? There's no gaming streaming service right now.
Not the streaming service. Their whole model is out of date because they depend so much on physical media, and the move in our culture is going towards streaming.
That's correct.
And they can't pivot.
Point.
So they're around now, but it's not gonna be around for too much longer. GameStop is on life support. Is this Kyle in the room?
I think so. Who's Kyle? Wait, is Kyle the other white guy?
Oh God!
Oh God! Are we doing this now?
No, I'm just asking you to make sure.
Kyle Jones.
Test.
Okay, yeah, that is the other white guy. What? There's like 4 of them. I think.
What's up, Cal?
Speaking of Netflix is great, but if there is one thing I wish it would finally do, like I'm glad it has like all the past seasons of Power Rangers, every single one has every single season of Power Rangers. If you've noticed, Netflix has been bringing Japanese, Korean, and Chinese shows to American audiences.
Hi.
I thought you were going to say porn.
Too much for a brother to ask to get some Kamen Rider.
Dude, that's not happening. You know that's not happening. You know that's not happening.
You don't need that on Netflix, man. I mean,
we do, but like,
why? You can get the whole Kamen Rider DVD set with no problem.
No. You don't understand. You don't understand. You're not a Toku fan, all right?
I'm not. You're right.
Yeah, you don't understand.
You don't understand.
Okay, well, help me understand then. Like,
he doesn't understand.
We need to know.
You can get sure you can get the DVDs, but a lot of times you either a lot of the DVDs are out of print, so that's one of the problems I have, which is why I still have not seen Kamen Rider X, because I can't find the DVDs for it.
Bro, those things are really hard to find, like for real. And if they are findable, they're expensive as shit.
And
all right,
and that's on the rare occasions you find the ones with English subs. They will flat out sell you a DVD with no subtitles, so you're just sitting there watching a show in Japanese with no idea what's going on, and it's tokusatsu. You need to understand what's going on.
Look, if you're getting chased around by a giant starfish wearing a Hitler helmet, and it's like he has a freaking machine gun, and he's shooting into a group full of people made of cheese, you have to understand the context in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that fact at all, but I understand what you're saying. Let me give you an example, because they actually brought Sailor Moon to Hulu.
What?
They brought Sailor Moon to Hulu, like it's like 4 years ago or whatever, but it was a different version of Sailor Moon. Like, it was edited differently, it had different voice actors, it was a whole just different show, you know. And they were like passing it off as it was the actual original Sailor Moon show, you know. And I mean, I just kind of feel like they, you know, saying may possibly like botch, you know, saying the original version of, you know, the show you're trying to watch, because
in my opinion, for me anyway, because I'm a big Showa fan. I don't know about Terrence, but I'm a big fan of the Showa series. So, and if they decide to sort of eventually go into, like, my whole thing is bring it to us and like let people see it, because there's a lot of people out here who would like Kamen Rider if they knew what it was, but they don't know what it is because it ain't here.
Exactly.
Like, I say just give people the product no matter how bad, and just let people, you know, see if they like it, they're going to pursue the original stuff.
You know, yeah, that's true. I feel like they're gonna botch it in the first place, and they, you know, so we might as well just get the original stuff to begin with. But I completely see what you're saying, though.
Motherfucker still owe us Garo, man.
Oh my god. Look. The Garo anime is really good, but I still prefer the Toku.
I ain't talking about no anime. You know I ain't talking about no anime, man.
I know you're not. But
motherfuckers
anyway,
look, I'm mad now.
Rider is amazing, and to this day, I still want Saban to apologize for that horrible 96 American Mass Rider adaptation. Hold
up. Listen. Calm down, sir. That was a good show. That was a good show when you're a kid and you're watching that show on the weekend. That's the coolest shit you ever seen, man.
Yeah, when you're a kid, because you don't know any better.
Exactly. Like, we just because we grow up doesn't mean that we should just like go ahead and say, oh yeah, by the way, this thing that we saw when we were kids was terrible. It's not terrible. We just outgrew it.
Well, no.
I gotta disagree with that. If you watch Beetleborgs, that show is fucking good.
Beetleborgs was great. You shut your whore mouth.
Beetleborgs was horrendous, yo. I knew it was booty sauce back then.
Don't be mad.
Yep. Beetleborgs was garbage. What was it? Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills was garbage.
Hey, hold on.
Street Sharks was garbage.
No, whoa.
I'm calling the cops on you.
VR Troopers was garbage.
This order on you, sir. Oh my god! Wow, who invited you in here?
Oh man,
you're just saying Fox Kids is garbage at this point.
Yeah, that's basically.
Oh fuck that!
No, because Power Rangers was the shit. Power Rangers was the shit. Spider-Man from Fox Kids Network was the shit. I mean,
that's Spider-Man show was
Batman too.
You know what?
Which one? The animated series or the other one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Well, that one was like gritty. It was good because it was gritty.
That WB, that wasn't Fox Kids.
Yeah. That was WB.
WB, bro.
DC was WB.
Good music too.
One show that I like that people either don't like or don't remember is Mystic Knights of Turnanog.
I love that show. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
Now we're back on the same page. Now me and him can be friends again.
We're friends again.
What about that Samurai Pizza Cats though? I mean, y'all.
It was a great show. I thought it was. See me. I don't,
right there, boy.
Sorry, I don't see me when I was a kid. These shows were amazing to me. So it's like I look back on it and I look at it still like I would as a kid. Like I can point out all the stuff that's wrong with it and how cheesy and how corny it is, but at the end of the day, it's like it's not gonna grow up with me. It was there for that time, and it's gonna be there for that time. There's some stuff that, because you know, like for me, nostalgia is all about accepting the fact that some stuff we're gonna grow up out of some stuff, but we can still appreciate it because it wasn't that terrible.
Well, there's nostalgia, and then there's the things that stand the test of time. Like if you think back to like the Beast Wars show back in the day on WB, like that's a dope show. If you watch it today, the graphics are old, but the storylines are still deeper than most shows today.
Holy shit! Did I say he was white? I'm gonna have to like just my bad. I just heard his voice.
Very white, homie.
White Berry, get it right.
But nah, yeah, Beast Wars was fucking dark for like, you know, a kid's show.
It was
like
in that show.
Like I said, I remember Dinobot's death, and that fucks me up now.
See, that's
you feel me?
Back in the 80s and 90s. Most of the 80s and the early to mid 90s, television shows respected kids and television. Like they understood that kids knew what death was, and they didn't sugarcoat it.
What? Oh yeah.
Compare that to the early 80s and modern day TV where they will lie to your face. Like, hold on, like you know what? I'm gonna give it a good. All right, I don't even have my TV on.
I don't know. I feel like the 90s was just lawless. Like the 90s, they just let whatever fly because they just knew the parents were not watching that shit with the kids.
Like,
they always say shit like pass. Sorry, Terrence.
I'm about to give an example using it's technically the same show but different. But it's technically the same show but different different time periods. Has anybody here heard of Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man?
No.
I heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Heard of Battle of the Planets?
Yep.
Okay, well, the Japanese version is called Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man. It's from 1972, blah, 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 blah. You don't really need to know all this backstory. I just feel like backstory helps. But here's the difference. In Japan and in the uncut English dub, these people catch bodies. Like, the heroes, the villains, everybody has caught a body at some point or another. The little kid murdered people.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh god, wait, is that the show with Joe the Condor?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh my god, wow, that guy was a fucking murder. Holy shit. Don't work for that company. Like that guy will break in and beat the shit out of. Oh wow, you get the feather in your fucking neck. You're dying. Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. Like his favorite thing to do in that show, besides blow people up with bird missiles, is to throw one of those razor sharp feather shuriken into your neck and watch you die. Why is he the hero? But anyway, so yeah, so in the Japanese version and the uncut American version, they catch bodies. But when it was adapted to America in 1982 as Battle of the Planets, they cut out most of the violence, and for the parts they couldn't cut out, they edited it so to say that either that the weapons cause headaches or the people who just died were not cyborgs, were androids. And I'm like, y'all forgot to edit out the blood. When's the last time you saw an android bleed?
Shit. But what I'm saying though is that, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like, by the way, great podcast. I'm loving this. This is fun. But yeah, like that's what I'm saying though, is like I feel like shows back then, especially for kids, they also, you got to remember, dude, America was like severely coddled as far as the kids were concerned, because it was like we had to be thought about back then.
True, and yeah, it's honestly, this I guess think about the you guys are saying like some shows don't really age well, but as kids you remember them very, very fondly. I actually went back and watched some Voltron episodes, and was just let in on a lot of the bad continuity errors and just bad animation, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Even watching like the 1980s Turtles cartoon show.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's oh man, so many. Just,
it was funny, but it was like terrible at the same time. Like the mad mixed up mid.
I prefer the 03 Turtles. Yeah. I'm sorry. I prefer the 03
over the 83 version. I can agree with that. But I think that the 2012 Nickelodeon Turtles is the best rendition of the turtles that I've seen in cartoon form.
Yeah, I like that one too.
The
opening is dope.
With the 03 turtles, I mean, they were that they hit on certain things, kind of like, you know, in the way we're talking about, where they hit on serious topics like, you know, anger issues and like family commitments and stuff like, but it wasn't too childish. Like, it was like, okay, we know it. Like, that was the main thing about early 2000s, like late 90s stuff. Like, they always catered to it in a way where it was like, okay, we know that adults are gonna have to watch this with the kids at some point, so we should make it interesting for both sides. Like, Batman, the animated series, was like that too. Like, they both shows like that hit on stuff that anybody could watch and find a piece of themselves in.
And even that show ages very well.
That's good writing. That's just yeah.
Yeah, and that's why Gargoyles is one of the best shows of all time to this day.
You, sir,
Gargoyle?
are correct.
You said Garvo? You said Garvo?
Gargoyles.
Oh, Gargoyle. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Xanatos and Goliath. Like, yo, that was my shit.
We need that live action movie.
Yeah,
We do not. No, we don't.
We do.
no, dude, no, we need that. I'm telling you, Gargoyles is like the best
Somebody,
Disney afternoon cartoon that they had back then.
People will hate it though.
Who cares?
Michael Jai White is
I'm not sure what that means. You know, it's like you can't make art based off of what people are going to like, what they're not going to like.
You got a point there.
You have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to just make what it is that you feel that you want to make. And the thing is that Jordan Peele wants to make this live action film. I think he should.
Yeah, Disney turned him down though.
Okay, you got a point there. There's a long time coming.
Yeah, it is. And the things I actually thought that like people forgot about Gargoyles and or whatever. I'm like, man, that show was a shit. But like, I mean, it's coming back, and you know, Jordan Peele is somebody that I think that is from like our generation. So he probably has seen the same cartoons that we saw growing up. So
He probably feels the same way.
What?
Yeah.
He probably feels the same way.
Right. So more power to him. We actually need more people in those directors' chairs, in those seats, being like, hey, you know what was a good show? This show is a good show. Let me bring this back for all the people who was in my generation and thought this show was awesome. Let me go make a movie for it right now. You know what I'm talking about?
So I'm guessing that means we're giving Transformers a pass now.
Absolutely not.
yeah,
Okay.
give Bay a pass.
Anything that Michael Bay touches turns to stone.
They're actually rebooting the TMNT series apparently.
Yes,
Word?
I heard they were. Yep. They're rebooting it.
All Rise of TMNT, and
But the problem is that Michael Bay still has his thumb in it somehow. So I don't see how it's going to really be a reboot.
He's got stuff somewhere.
Well, I mean,
Own ass.
he still has his hands on Transformers too.
He does.
Wait. Did he do it? Was he part of Bumblebee at
Bumblebee?
all?
I don't think he was.
He's still a producer.
Was he?
yeah, but to be fair, in Hollywood, producer is a meaningless title. It just means
It is not.
I mean, but he didn't actually do anything with Ninja Turtles either. He wasn't the director. He wasn't the writer or anything.
Or
No,
let's just point out that maybe he did do something. And let's just can we all agree that maybe at some point progress is a thing? So like some people who were like ridiculously bad may have actually gotten slightly better.
Of course, yeah, but I do want to interject really quickly about the producer thing. It's really not a meaningless title at all. It's one of the most important titles when it comes to making a movie. But Michael Bay is, and I forgot the name of it, what it is. Michael Bay is the kind of person that whatever he's involved in, he has to have his signature on it. He has influence on it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, for instance, like Tom Cruise. You know, Tom Cruise is an actor, and Tom Cruise is supposed to go by a script. He's supposed to go what directors tell him to do. Tom Cruise is such a big actor. He can step on stage and say, okay, I'm not doing this film unless you guys change this, unless you guys put me. Yeah, he literally, yes, absolutely. He actually told the director that I want my character to have more screen time than the actual Mummy.
What movie is this? In the Mummy?
The Mummy. Tom Cruise is in the Mummy. He told the director, I want my character to have more screen time. And that's exactly what he got.
oh, he pulled a Steven Seagal.
Yo.
That is actually recorded fact. Steven Seagal
Yep.
is like that.
Yep. And there's a lot of actors that like that as well in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, that do that same exact thing, but it's not always put out there because it's such a, you know what I'm saying, like sometimes that information will kind of make others not want to work with that actor. So a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like, hey, everyone, the world, this is what, you know, Tom Cruise did, you know, take a look at this guy, you know what I'm saying? No, but because that's how Hollywood works. You know, you have someone with a big name as Tom Cruise, he's gonna step on the set and he's gonna start like pulling rank basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, hey, I've been doing this longer than some of y'all been alive, so shut up and pay attention. You know, that kind of attitude. You know, and when it comes to Michael Bay is the kind of person where it's like, yeah, he's a producer. He puts up the money in order to make the film happen. You know what I'm saying? So if it's his money, he's investing into this project. He's gonna be like, okay, we need more explosions over here. Hey, can we get like, you know, this going on? This script is kind of flat. Let's change these lines. You know what I'm saying? It's really like, you know what I'm saying? It's really kind of up to whoever, I guess, feels like they have the most power on set. It's not necessarily like the you know, job title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
Well, here's a quick question for you guys. Do you guys believe that Michael Bay is a bad director?
He made some bangers back in the day, but you know, his tracks don't slap like they used to.
It's not a bad analogy.
Yeah.
I feel like he has a certain style that he likes to put out, and he doesn't realize that that style doesn't work for every single movie.
Yeah.
If you want to see a bad director, look at Uwe Boll.
Hold up. Postal was good.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Let me respond to the whole Michael Bay question.
Okay.
I think Michael Bay was a good director. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Michael Bay makes movies for Michael Bay. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what like I feel. I feel like he makes the movies that he enjoys. Not, you know what I'm saying? And like I love Bad Boys. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I thought the first Bad Boys was a fantastic movie. Like fantastic. You know, part 2 was also good. You know, I don't love it as much as part 1 because it feels a little polished in Hollywood for me. But you know, the first Bad Boys was great. It was great. You know, I thought it was great. So that's a great movie from Michael Bay that I absolutely love. Him touching Transformers. I like the first Transformers. Anything after that, I thought was terrible. I didn't like any Turtles movie, but that's my own preference. I think that like when you say subjectively if somebody's a good director, it's kind of like, can they consistently make films? You know what I'm saying? And then that make money. You know what I mean? In some people's eyes, like that's what defines a good director. But if we're talking about films that are gonna like really resonate with audiences, I wouldn't necessarily consider him a good director, you know, in that way.
I feel like he has room to improve. Cause like M. Night Shyamalan was making like some trash hits for a while too, but now you know I hear Split was amazing. I didn't see Split, but I want to, and I'm hearing that Glass is actually going to be pretty dope too. So it's like
Shyamalan has like 4 or 5 bangers though. Yeah,
but it's like I mean, after Avatar, bro, everything he made was like Shyamalan's name on something was like the Scarlet Letter, man. Like they was for a while.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look back, I mean, if you didn't get The Happening, you wouldn't have got Bird Box.
Yeah, shit, you got a point there. God damn it.
I mean,
people hate Bird Box though.
I mean, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but I heard that Glass is terrible.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. Excuse me. I've heard so many like testimonies about how bad that film is, and I went on Rotten Tomatoes. The shit's got like a 32% by the top critics, and all the critics. It has a 23%. You know what I'm saying? So it's certified rotten, baby. That thing is nasty.
What about somebody who loved Unbreakable? I gotta say, like, if people are saying, like, if you look at Unbreakable, I think it's like an 82 or something right now. Like, everybody who saw that movie went and saw Glass and they hated it. So that tells you everything you know.
Yep.
Damn.
I just put my thoughts out there on Michael Bay. Michael Bay made he made The Rock.
Yep.
I love The Rock. Love Bad Boys 1 and 2. I like a few of the Transformers movies. I love the first one.
I love first one.
And he made that one movie with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck. You guys remember that one?
What movie is that?
It came out in the 90s. I don't remember.
Wow.
Asteroids.
Asteroids?
Oh, the one with the comet was coming to destroy Armageddon. He made that too.
Oh yeah, he did make Armageddon. That's correct.
He made Armageddon. He made Armageddon.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay. Not giving this dude too much credit though. He's not a writer. Like he's a director.
Not the question. That's not the question. The question was, is he a good director?
But at the end, I mean, essentially, he knows how to make a movie look good.
Yeah.
Right.
But
it's the Zack Snyder scenario.
Well, I'm not even going to give Snyder that much credit.
Look,
I didn't even direct.
the job of the writer is to write the script.
Yeah,
But the job of the director is to make it look pretty.
No, it's not just to make it
No,
look.
that's not the
It's also
job.
to
Sorry.
Make it like.
to get good performance out of the actors.
That's his job right there. That's his job. Yep.
and I think if you put Michael Bay's entire body of work on the line, I think you could say he has more hits than he has misses. I think the Transformers movies that are out there that are bad are just because he didn't have any studio oversight. He just was putting out bad movies.
Yeah, that's always a problem. Take a look at George Lucas back in the 2000s.
Yeah. Like if you take away that oversight, you get people just even with Shyamalan. That's probably the movies that we say are bad is because he had less oversight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll defend the prequels, but I will freely admit they are not directed or written as well as the original trilogy.
You know, I really think that what ruined those movies was people's backlash over, excuse me, I'm eating, Jar Jar Binks, man. Because they basically confirmed that they had the plan to make Jar Jar Binks Darth Plagueis, pretty much.
Word?
Yep.
I wouldn't.
That sounds like a lie.
No, I'll take. I'll buy it. I'll buy it for $1.
The actor himself said, like, he said there were big plans for Jar Jar Binks, but for whatever reason, with the backlash, Lucas got cold feet, and he decided to just make him an idiot.
Well, the rumor was, Jar Jar was supposed to play the role of like a Yoda. He was supposed to be like in disguise. He looks like an idiot, but he's not.
Well, like a negative Yoda, though, like
Yeah,
a
negative
Yoda
because the movies were supposed to rhyme. It wasn't
Exactly.
supposed to act, it was supposed to rhyme. So if you look at it in that context, there was no real place for Jar Jar in there if he didn't become something else.
This is true.
Right. I absolutely hated Jar Jar Binks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hated him. He was bad.
We all did. Okay,
God.
I do have a quick.
But another thing, I would put Revenge of the Sith over Return of the Jedi.
You know,
I don't know about that.
I would.
It's a
I mean-
it's hit or miss.
No. Actually, I agree. I think Return of the Jedi was probably. Wait a second. Am I thinking about Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi? No. Yeah, Return of the Jedi was part 6, right?
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what, actually, yeah, I take it back.
I
I can
agree.
see how
Yeah,
you say that, because if you look at like the whole Endor shit and the stuff with like the whatever those little things, what were those little things called?
Ewok.
Ewoks.
Yeah, the Ewoks were like basically a bunch of Jar Jars to me. I mean, if you put together all the setups from Revenge of the Sith, I'd say it takes a step above Jedi.
I can agree. I can agree with you saying.
Yeah. The only knock I have for Revenge of the Sith is that the other movies were bad. But Revenge of the Sith on its own, I would put it over Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi has a better conclusion than Revenge of the Sith, just because you have the reveal. You know what I mean? You have the death of the Emperor. You got, you have more heartfelt moments, but I still would take on Revenge of the Sith a little bit, just because of that scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan at the end.
You know what? I think my personal favorite moment in the prequels is not even a fight scene, but it's just one real quick moment. I think it's episode 3. Anakin and Padme are away from each other, and for once, Lucas has them shut up.
Okay.
What?
They're not talking, but they're billions of miles. They're on 2 completely different planets, but they're looking toward each other, and the scene's just really beautifully shot, and you can feel the emotion in them. Like it's just a really touching moment.
I thought Hayden Christensen did a good job with he just didn't have anything to work with.
Exactly. I mean, have you seen the way this guy moves and the way the guy moves and looks? And whenever he shoots a death glare, I hear the Imperial March in my head. If he had a better script, he would have been an amazing Anakin Skywalker, especially with those death glares of his. I mean,
that one,
I give you
I'd actually put that on Lucas again, because he is terrible at directing people's speeches. Like, they said it themselves that the way that he directed almost ended what's her name's career, the one who played Padme. She said that up until the Swan movie, Black Swan, she almost just ended her entire career and just focused on going to college and living her life because of how poorly her acting was in that movie, thanks to his direction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Before I head out, because I gotta head out in like 2 minutes. Before I
Same.
Before I head out, though, I do have one question, and this has been bugging me because I remember we were talking about movie adaptations, and
Right.
how come since when did the movie Excalibur come out? 1981.
I don't know.
Yeah, how come since 1981 we have not had a good movie based off historical legend? Like, think about it. Since 1981, every King Arthur movie has sucked. Every Robin Hood movie has sucked. Every movie based on William Shakespeare has sucked. Every movie based on Hercules, well, besides Disney's Hercules doesn't count though because I'm only counting live action movies. So every Hercules movie has sucked. Legends should not be this hard to film. It's not that hard.
Yes, I mean,
have you filmed a film before?
Okay, let's just go off of the logic here.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's just go off the logic here that we actually do that. A lot of legends make the hero look like a total dick. So it's like there's only so much you can do to make a hero look decent with shit like that going on. I mean, dude, you know about like mythology. You know how much of a dick they make these guys look. So it's like it might actually be that hard to make movies like that.
I think it's more to do with diminishing returns. I mean, how many times can you make a movie about the same thing and make it good? You know, every time somebody's seen it before, it's another movie where okay, it's been done. How can you change it unless people want to see it? You know, it's just it doesn't really come full circle.
Yeah, it's not gonna work all the time. It's just like you have the Lord of the Rings, but just imagine if they go back and make another Lord of the Rings movie in like 10 years. It's not gonna make as much money, no matter who the director is or who the writer is.
That's true.
Exactly.
That is true.
That is true. I was just expecting, like, Guy Ritchie is one of those directors that usually makes hits. So I was expecting Guy Ritchie to make a decent King Arthur movie. That turned out to be the worst one yet, and there are a lot of bad King Arthur movies.
Yeah,
and it's because everybody tries to do their own take on it. It's like Batman. You're not gonna get a good Batman movie every time it comes out.
That's true too, and I guess that is actually true. You know what I'm saying? Because you have something, I guess, so much of a public domain. You know what I'm saying? Like legends, like Hercules and all these people like that. Everything is so up in the air and up to everyone's interpretation that you're gonna get these bad renditions.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that I think that people just don't really want to adapt these stories because, like you said, they've been told for years and years and years over, so I guess the people that do tackle them are like, people who are just, trying to like get a story that they can go ahead and film and kind of get out there. But I guess nothing substantial, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why.
And then if the passion isn't there, it's no point in doing it.
Agreed.
I mean, and also let's face it, every mythology has been done already, with the exception of like maybe some from the Middle East or Asia or
Africa.
But
Africa. Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think they've done any like real African mythology.
Personally, I want to see more stories from the Bible. I want to see like a retelling of like a lot of stories on the Bible because there's some shit up in there that we don't see that would be pretty fucking epic.
Yeah,
you're like the Book of Revelation.
Okay, no, not that one. That's a fucking horror novel. Go to your room, stay there.
I was just saying, man.
Take a piss and go to sleep.
Bird Box all over again. He just died for no reason. Exploring the streets and shit.
We've been on the air for a couple hours now.
Fuck.
And
all right.
I think it's time to shut down.
Okay. Is it okay if I just give a real quick rundown before we close up?
Run it up.
Yeah.
No, just real quickly. I want to just kind of like come back to the fact that you mentioned Africa, whatever. I do want to kind of like really like bring in one more time how Black Panther is nominated for multiple things in the Oscars. It's not just Best Picture. I wanted to like kind of just put it out there. Black Panther is nominated for Best Pictures, also nominated for Best I think it's Best Original Song, for Best Costume Design. You know what I'm saying? Best there's a few. I'm sorry. Original song, costume design, soundtrack. That's what it is. Like original score. That's what the other one is. You know what I'm saying? It's at least 4. The sound mixing, sound editing. That's 6 different categories that Black Panther is listed in right now for the Oscars. And I'm just saying, overall, I think that's phenomenal. I think that like Black Panther really did a good job of putting out there, to show African people, you know what I'm saying, as kings and queens, something we haven't seen in a film since Coming to America. And we're just in a spot right now where I think like diversity is winning, and overall it's just, a really, really good thing for Black nerds, you know what I'm saying, to be seen in this kind of positive light and to be included, you know what I'm saying, like in the Oscars. I mean, let's be real, to be included and to be given a head nod. I think it's fantastic, So that's just kind of like my quick spiel real quick before we close out, guys.
Got it. Well, you're Bombay. Hashtag Black Excellence. I got a split, guys. This was fun. I can't wait to do this again eventually.
Exits. Who are you?
My name is Emmanuel Self. I'm the second rated commenter in the group. At least I think I am still, maybe. And also, you're gonna see me probably arguing with a whole bunch of other people later. No big deal. Manny,
later, bro.
Love and peace.
This is Toku Terry signing off. Later days.
All right, guys. This is Jermaine Lamont, better known as Casio from Casio Logic. I appreciate y'all for listening in. Hopefully, we can do this again soon, and I'll see y'all next time.
And this is your humble host, Jamal Baraka from GT Media Reviews and the founder of Planetejobn. I thank you for sticking it out with us. I know this was impromptu, and we probably could have did a little bit tighter editing and stuff like that, but I hope you enjoyed being here with us. Thank you, and have a great night.